Peace and greetings. Naya here, day 30 of 31 Days of Tarot 2019, and this is Do You Conduct Predictive Readings or Not? As much as many people like to say that they don't, we all do to some extent. If it comes to paid clients, I like to try to help them curate their question or gear their question to be a little bit more self-empowering versus fatalistic. And I think that's important because you're not sure where somebody's headspace is right off the beginning. Now, if it's a really regular client that I'm very aware of their cognitive dissonances and all that kind of stuff there, I may do a predictive reading, especially if you're doing like a year ahead spread. That's a predictive reading. That's saying, okay, this card came up for quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and then you go back a year later and you compare. Hey, did that resonate? Did that make sense? So, yeah, I really don't see how people may not use it at all, because that's kind of the fascination about it, is like, well, how did it play out? Now, I'm gonna say this though, I'll say it like this: be careful though, if you're somebody who has never read tarot, and you're watching this, and you've gotten readings before. There are different kind of tarot readers out there. There are readers who are very much more about your betterment, your betterment, your empowerment, your well-being, and that's what they're there for. There are different kind of readers out there who may approach this in a very predictive and or fatalistic type of manner. I am not one of those people who will read the cards and say, oh, hey, you've been cursed and this and this and that. And you know what I'm saying? And now let me, write you a spell or something to lift that curse from you. Be wary of that. That's super important to be wary of, because they're playing the game. I just feel like that's not authentic. That's not for your well-being. So research the folks. If folks are out there who are doing readings, they should have some kind of social media presence to at least give you an idea of what they have to offer, what they're reading, and then be discerning about your needs and how that tarot reader may or may not be able to help you. Okay, I just want you guys to be kind of aware of that. Like I said, if you're somebody who's never received a reading before, or who has never read before, because some people will take advantage of your ignorance, and that's not cool. So I'm just putting it out there as a as a disclaimer, because I've heard stories, and it really grinds my gears when I hear stories like that. And it's just like, the cards do not, how do I say this? The cards are not set in stone. So when you get a reading, okay, your choices, basically it's like the reading that you get is a snapshot of the energies that are currently at play. You can make a decision later that day that can change that whole trajectory. So if you have a reading that looks like not the greatest reading, you may be able to change something in your life, or you actually, not that you may be able to, you are able to change something within your life, make a different choice that can completely change the energy and dynamic of that reading. And therefore the reading was beneficial in that you were aware of something not going right, and then you made the choices and the changes to do something about it yourself and change the odds to be in your favor. You see what I'm saying? It's this that's what it is about, the co-creation of life and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm not trying to blow smoke up anybody's anything, but at the same time, if we do something like a year ahead spread or something like that, it shouldn't sound fatalistic, even if it is predictive. So I just want to make sure that the difference is understood. because, you know, in a lot of places, fortune telling is still frowned upon, or not looked at, you know, and that's why we have to say, you know, this is for entertainment purposes only, because people take it there. They take it to the point where it's so serious, and the concerns are so serious. And, you know, the disclaimer doesn't mean that the tarot reader doesn't feel like that their work is any less important. But by state law or whatever, at least here in the United States, you know, we have to put for entertainment purposes only, because at the end of the day, you can look at it and take it as a joke, or you can look at it and take it serious. Please just be mindful of who you're working with. There's a lot of great readers out there. If I'm not the one that resonates for you, I may know somebody that would be able to work for you depending on your situation and stuff like that. This is why now I'm talking to the tarot squad, is why we need to be a good network to each other and a good community for each other, because my strengths may be your weaknesses and your strengths might be my weaknesses. And sometimes we may have clients that are coming to us for help, that need help, and we know that the best help could be coming from the next person, not necessarily me. So I'm very aware of that, and I think it's important to make those connections, because you don't ever want to be put in a situation where you don't know what to do with the client as well. I kind of went I went off on a tangent as far as, like, you know, do you carry out predictive readings? But I think it's because predictive tarot is a very loaded subject, and I've heard all kinds of things. So I just wanted to put it out there. Predictive tarot is not my primary way that I read tarot, but it happens sometimes, like I said, with people who I'm more aware of, that would receive the information and understand why we're doing it. You know what I mean? And it's not fatalistic, and I'm not trying to play them. I'm not trying to do anything. If anything, I'm trying to empower them and give them insight so that they can take charge of their own lives for the better. Okay, so that is my answer. Long-winded, but that is my answer. And I look forward to watching everybody else's responses to this question. And I will talk to you on the next one. Much love, many blessings. Peace.